YouTube, what's going on? I was going to do this video this upcoming weekend, but I'm still waiting on a car, and I got to thinking about it, and realistically, it should be broken up into 2 videos and possibly even 3. I think I might do it in 3. I'm just going to take this video to focus on 2 of the cars that I received. But first, we're going to look at these older cars that I've had for a while. I've had this one for probably 3 years now, whenever it came out. This was the second casting that Hobby Japan did. So it's kind of cool to look at this and look at their new stuff and kind of see the evolution. And we can talk more about that in the next video with another brand new Hobby Japan tooling that has some things about it that are quite a bit different than anything they've released before. But this is a cool car, very highly detailed. It's a little dirty and fingerprinted. I need to wipe it down, but really cool car. These wheels are some of the nicer wheels in the scale. Those are like laser etched. Those are open spoke. Not really spoke, but it's an open concept. That's not just back shadowed. It's not back shadowed. Those are open spokes. And then what they do is the rim is actually a 2-piece rim, and you can kind of see it here, where the face of the wheel, which is the open spoked part there, gets attached to the wheel, and you can see that they did the wheel, or they mounted it very unevenly. So that's very cool. A lot of detail on this car. I love this car. It's not a very desirable car. As far as JDM goes, everybody wants the Skylines, but let me tell you something. This right here, you can import one of these, twin turbo, right-hand drive, very, very nice car, low miles for probably under 10 grand. So, pretty cool car. Also, relatively recently, I picked up this Tomica Limited Vintage Toyota Chaser. So we have the Soarer, which is a 2-door coupe, and then we have the Chaser, which is a sedan. Granted, this is a much later model than the Soarer. I think this is an early 90s. No idea on this one. I would probably guess late 90s. But I'm glad I got this one when I did, because very hard to find this car. Very hard. I don't even know if there are any of these listed on eBay right now. And that's the same thing with this one. I got this one around the same time. And this was made as the Toyota Altezza. But they did do a release of 2 colors, silver and white, where they released it as the Lexus IS 200. It is a right-hand drive, but it's still a car that was commercially available here in the United States. And of these 3 cars, it's the only one that we had here on the streets. This one is also very hard to find. I don't think you can go to eBay and find either of these 2. There's a white one of this on eBay, but I think they're going for like between 80 and 100. So, anyways, and I have a bunch more Toyota cars like this that I could have brought out for this video, but I'm going to do a Toyota video coming up. Not the next video, but the one after that is going to be a very... it's going to be a premium detailed Toyota video that's going to feature a lot of different cars, a lot of different brands. All of it will be super highly detailed. So anyways, back to Hobby Japan. I grabbed this. I saw that Hobby Japan did this car, and I was just scrolling through eBay. I don't even remember what my search was. It was probably something like 1:64 scale detailed Toyota, because that's what I do a lot of times. And when I saw this, I thought, oh, awesome, a GS, because no one's done a Lexus GS in 1:64. At least not a premium one. I know Matchbox did it, but it's actually a Toyota Aristo. And it's a really cool car. After I got this, I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but someone was saying that they are going to do the Lexus, they're going to do this car with the Lexus badging. So if they do that, I will sell this and I will buy the Lexus. If they do it in silver or champagne, or, you know, it's got to be a nice light color. I don't know if I would do it for white. But if it's silver or champagne, preferably champagne, because that was pretty common color with this car. At least with the Lexus version of it, that if they did that, I probably would get it. So I've seen a few people review this car. I've seen mixed opinions. Some people like it, some people don't. I've seen a few quality control issues. I like the casting. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it's probably an 8, between an 8 and a 9. Quality control with Hobby Japan has gone down. That's something that you hear a lot of people talking about. The only cosmetic flaw that I have with this is right there, and it is a pretty big flaw. It's definitely an eyesore. You guys have probably been looking at it the whole time going, what the heck is that? But other than that, it's a great looking car. I love the wheels. The tires look good. The color is great. Here's the base. I don't really care too much about the base. Doesn't matter to me. It could be a flat piece of metal for all I care. And then here is the my favorite angle of cars is the rear quarter right there. And this car definitely has a nice silhouette and a nice rear quarter angle. That just looks so sharp. So I like this. I'm glad I got it. And given that so many people here in the United States can relate to the Lexus GS300, I think this will be a popular car. Of all the cars Hobby Japan has done, I would say less than half of them are cars that were commercially available in the United States. Maybe that's not true, but you know, the Supras, I guess, were available here. The Prelude and the 60 Series Land Cruiser. But they've done a whole bunch that weren't available here. And I've noticed collectors here don't like buying stuff like this because they don't know what it is. You know, same thing with this. But they'll buy a Skyline. All right, so the big kahuna of the show here is this next car. And I'm going to kind of preface it by, it's a brand that I've never heard of. It's called, what is it called? Micro Turbo. It's a very small car, but it's scale accurate and it's very heavy. It's heavier than any of these cars, including this. This is a TLV car. It's a metal body, metal base. It's a pretty substantial casting. Got a good weight to it. This car weighs more than that. Just a heavy little car. But take a look at this car. The detail is right up there with the best that I've ever seen in my life. It's as good or better than Mini Champs, as good or better than Auto Art. It's as good or better than Ignition Model. I can already tell you it's better than Tomica Limited Vintage. I don't think that TLV could do this car this nicely. I don't think they could. So it's just, I don't even need to talk. I mean, the car speaks for itself. And all the cars I've reviewed on this channel, there aren't many cars that are like that, where you just put the camera on it and let the car speak. I mean, this thing is just phenomenal. The body lines, the proportions, even like the wheel and tire proportions, the stance is just perfect stance. I mean, it's a real work of art, this car. And it's a cool car too, because it's never been done before in 1:64 scale, outside of the Matchbox and Hot Wheels. But no premium brand has done this MR2. All right, let's look at the back of the car here. These are your tail lights. The most detailed exhaust tips you'll ever see in the scale. And then just like look at the details of the car. It is a nice roller too. Nice rolling car. Here's the front of the car we're going to look at here. Got your indicators, fog lights. So it has transparent lens headlights and fog lights with translucent insert indicators. The indicators on the side are painted or tampoed. The taillights are translucent lenses. What else do we have here? The side view mirrors look good. The coolest thing about this car, you guys probably noticed that the headlights are separate pieces, and they are. There's a little lever right there. I'll put the headlights up. So the thing about it, when you put the headlights up, I've seen a lot of cars with headlights up or headlights that flip up. You see a lot of cars that have articulating steering, that the front wheels can turn. You see doors, opening hoods, all that kind of stuff. A lot of times with that stuff, it doesn't look right. The axle doesn't pivot right, or the hood looks just way off when you open it. These headlights look perfect. They look perfect in the up position. They look perfect in the down position. It's just such a well done car. And it was expensive. It's about a $50 car shipped. But it's worth the money. If you're into this kind of thing, it's worth the money. It's a rare car, only 1,000 produced. I think it's 1,000 of each color. It is possible that some of the colors are more rare than others. This particular color that I got was produced at 1,000. So, very cool. I mean, it's a lot less of these than any of these. And these are all pretty limited cars, like TLV doesn't do very high production runs. Hobby Japan doesn't do very high production runs either. So, but anything 1,000, I mean, think about like a Hobby Japan or an Auto World Toyota Supra is around between 10 and 15,000. So this is super limited. And the fact that no other brand has done it, and you combine that with the fact that they're very limited, and you combine that with the fact that it looks amazing. Like, you can't do a better replica, I don't think. And for those reasons, I think this will be a very collectible piece. Plus, you know, the MR2, as far as like JDM lore goes, this is one of the cars, you know. It's one of the cars. It has a cult following. So, but that's pretty much it. I mainly wanted to showcase this car, but I also did want to showcase the Aristo. And since I don't do videos with just two cars, I grabbed these three out, plus they were relatively close. I didn't have to dig too much. But in all honesty, this car here would have been worthy of its own video. It's that nice. It's the nicest, like from an execution standpoint, I've never seen a nicer 1:64 scale model. I don't think any car has been replicated as well as this one. And that's saying a lot. And I'm a guy, if you go back on the channel, I'm a guy that has owned and has reviewed probably more high-end diecast than anybody else on YouTube. Possible exception of Lamley, but he gets all his stuff sent to him for free and I don't. So I know that that's, you know, maybe that there's a chance that that's not the case. But if you go back and look, I've reviewed tons and tons and tons of TLV, Kyosho, Auto Art, Mini Champs, like Konami, everything, every brand that's made diecast, practically. And I know I've slowed down the last couple of years, but when I say this is the nicest that I've ever seen a car replicated in 1:64 scale, I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that from a place of ignorance. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. So, but you also say, well, for $50 it should be, and yeah, that's true, it should be. You look at the TLV Ferraris, those are $80 to $100, and this is much nicer than those. Like, I mean, those cars to this, to me, is the difference between an Auto World and a Kyosho. It's a significant step up. And that's not to take anything from the TLV Ferraris. They're very nice cars. And they're worth the money. But the detail on this and the presentation and the execution, just the quality control, the packaging, everything about it is just, it's the best I've seen. So a lot of you might not like the packaging because it is a box, so you can't see the car. It isn't an acrylic, but the acrylic doesn't have there's no window on the box to see the car. So some of you might not like that, but it's still possibly the nicest packaging that I've seen. It's up there. I've seen some cool packaging, and the box that it comes in feels like a very high-end jewelry box. You know, it feels like one of those, almost like a fabric box. But anyways, there you go, guys. Leave your comments and thoughts below on what you think of these models. And I know that I'm biased because I'm a Toyota enthusiast, but honestly, this could be any car, any other brand, and I'd say the same thing about it. If Micro Turbo does another car that's not a Toyota, I'll buy it, because if it's a car that I like, because I know that they do really, really nice work. So, all right, so it is Wednesday night. I'm going to wrap this video up. I will be back hopefully this weekend with the next video. That car has been sitting in customs for like 10 days now. Actually, no, it left customs on Saturday. And it was in Tolleson, Arizona, which is across town from me. And it's been there since basically Saturday night. So I don't know what's taking it so long. It should have been here yesterday or today. So I think I will get it by Saturday. But that's going to be another cool video with some more good information for all you collectors of high-end stuff like this. There's going to be a lot of different brands to look at. So I'm going to do that video hopefully Saturday, and I might do 2 videos Saturday because I want to do a video after that where basically I'm just going to showcase all of my Toyota collection, all of my premium detailed Toyotas, from everything from Auto World up. And there's tons of different brands, brands like Kyosho, Konami, TLV, Hobby Japan, Mini GT, Auto World, Micro Turbo, everything, every brand that's done a Toyota, BM Creations, NO64, you know, it'll be a good video, but I want to do the next video first. So thank you for watching, and if you even kind of like this car and you're on the fence about it, you definitely want to get it. You won't regret it. And I feel the same thing for this one too. This one's quite a bit less expensive, but a very cool car. So, all right, I'll talk to you all at the next diecast video.